In this quick start guide to DataJoint elements, I'll give you just the basics to help you get started. So first, I'll go over diagrams, our entity relationship style diagrams that help you understand the relationships between each of the tables in a given workflow. Second, I'll go over the components of a table definition and particularly how to read these components in the context of a Python script. So this is an example of a diagram. Here I've selected a couple tables from our session and deep lab cut elements, but we can pretend for the case of this example that this is an entire pipeline. We use pipeline and workflow a little bit interchangeably, but what they mean is the complete set of data processing methods, including the tables and the steps that would take information from one table to the next. A subset of a pipeline is a schema. This is really just a conceptually related set of tables that might be for use in a given data modality, that might be for use in a given pre-processing step. Here we have tables that are in green. These are manual entry tables as opposed to computed or imported tables. The model video recording file table has a white background. That's a part table. That offers a many-to-one relationship with its master table immediately above. So the imported and computed tables, as I mentioned, are auto-populated. The difference between them is that an imported table tends to rely on files on disk versus computed tables are running computations on data already in the pipeline. So here I have the Python definition of this model recording info table, and I'll walk through each of the steps to define this table entirely. First, at the top, we have this schema decorator as a link to the database. Then we have the table name and table type. As I mentioned before, imported versus computed manual part tables. Those are all optional table types. The first section here is the set of attributes that define a table. So your table heading, data types, those things. Then we have computation for the case. In the case of imported and computed tables, this is the set of commands that generates the contents for this table. We call these make functions, and then in the course of running your pipeline, you might use the populate command. This takes each of the primary keys from a table and runs some sort of process on them. The primary keys are the items defined above this hyphen separator. So those are the pieces that are required to uniquely identify one entry in the table. The non-primary keys below that are still important information, but may not uniquely identify an entry. So this, the final piece is the arrow marker here that identifies a dependency relationship between two of your tables. Here we're using the video recording table as the primary key for this recording info. And now to walk a little bit through the make command, we see the key being used to generate a file path from the parent table here. And then we're looping through that set of file paths to get both pixel height and pixel width information about each of these files. I hope that helps. There are a number of different links in the description to elaborate more on each of these topics.